Hello and welcome to the String Along podcast. My name is Erin and I talk about stringy things. And if you ever need company, you can always turn to me. If you understand that reference, I want to be friends with you. Like best friends. For this inaugural episode, I'm going to talk about how I finished off 2025 because today is January 12th, so we're just getting into the swing of things. Quitters Monday, Quitters Friday, whatever day that is. Just happened. So anyway, I'll get into how I ended 2025 and what I've been up to until then, and then the whips that you'll hopefully see a handful of times before they turn into finishes. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the actual finishes from that I've had, spoiler alert, because I've been wearing them and I think they're in the laundry right now. But I will put up pictures. So let's get started. So for 2025, aren't you supposed to have trouble saying 2025, not 2024? So for 2024, I ended up with 14 finishes, which was a lot better than I thought. I just felt like I didn't get too much done. And those 14 finishes consisted of 6 garments, 2 of which were kid size. There were 4 pairs of socks, 2 stuffies, and 2 accessories, which were a tie and some gloves. So quite a wide array of things, I guess. And if you're impressed by 6 garments, like I said, 2 of those were kid-sized, and then 2 of them were tanks. So I wasn't doing like full, I don't know why I'm playing down my accomplishments. But yeah, 14 finishes. And then that last week of 2024, I looked like I was going to go into 2025 with 8 whips. I don't know what got into me, but I just started finishing as much as I could, which were socks. So, I finished one sock before, January 1st, and then I finished pretty quickly that first week into January, 2 more pairs of socks. So the first one I finished was my summer sock camp sock, or my pair of socks. So that was a whip from 2020, from the summer of 2024. So not too long, but it was a pattern sock. And I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And then I finished the summer sock camp sock from 22 or 23. I can't quite remember. But actually, here they are. They are a self-striping from Woolen and Nash, and it's meant to look like sushi. So they're quite fun. They're quite comfy. My gauge is a little loose on them, but they're nice. They're really comfy. So yeah. And then the final finish of all those socks was the 2024 The Cozy Knitter Advent self-striping skein. I was able to finish that before November of 2025, which is when I usually finish those. And this is probably my favorite colorway yet. I've done it 4 times now, and these are probably hands down my favorite socks just to wear. I love the fit of them, and I mean all of the Cozy Knitter socks. I need to get more of her stuff, I guess, because I just find the yarn so comfy. I like how it knits up. If you are interested, I would definitely recommend doing the knit along, even if you don't stick. I was not on track at all. I think I got like 20 days behind, and then I caught up pretty darn fast, and I was able to finish one sock for Christmas Day outside of the heels and toes, and then January 4th, I believe, is when I finished the second sock of that. My sock formula, I always cast on 64 stitches on a 9-inch circular. I use a size 0. And I always do a sock tube, put in, and then the tube, usually I do about 90 to 100 rounds, and do a rounded toe, and then I put in an afterthought heel. That's kind of my formula for socks. It's just the easiest for me because it's just mindless, and my life is chaotic. And so I just need mindless knitting, and that's where I find it. So after the first week of January, I was down 3 whips. And over here, you can barely see it peeking out, is like a little cart that I got. And I was putting all my whips in there. And so I think that might have been what motivated me to clean up some of my whips, or get some of them done, especially when it was only a sock or two. You know, that doesn't take too long. But then I was left with 2 pairs of socks that I knit at the end of last year. And at the end of last year, I was in a season of change with my life. I had just had my 3rd kid, and I was transitioning into staying at home full time. And I think with that, with all those changes, my attention was just so tight. And so these socks that I had, they could fit with an asterisk, and they were super tight. And I know that wool loosens up, but it was like, I was nervous the structural integrity of the knit was not there. Like, it was so tight if I put it on. And I liked the yarn and what I was doing. I liked it, and so I didn't want to give them away. If I like make another one, make the second sock and give it away, I didn't want to do that. So I did frog 2 socks, and now that I think about it, I don't know where I put the yarn from frogging it. But I will return to those, that yarn at a later date. I'm just not really in the mood for socks right now. And yeah, so that cleared out 2 more whips. I had really no qualms with getting rid of frogging the socks. I know some people really hate to, but I'd rather have a finished object that I like, and that I'll actually wear. So yeah, frog that. And so currently I have, I started the year with, okay, I didn't start the year. I'm basically saying I had 3 active whips that I carried over into 2025. And then I cast on 1. So let me show you my new cast on. It is a hat pattern from the 40s. It's just a little pixie hat, which it's not actually going to keep my head warm because it sits like behind the ears, but it's super cute. So, and it's not too much, but it is brioche. And this is a speckled colorway from the Red Pansy. I think this is it. It's on her sock base. Elo Ortiz, Island of Nettles, and it's from the Monet Impressionism Club, November. I don't know what year I joined that, but her yarn is so pretty. But it is brioche, which I haven't done brioche since I did a wrap. And I took the wrap when I went to the Keys with my boyfriend, with my ex-boyfriend, which I broke up with him a year before I got together with my husband, which we got together in 2018, so it's 2017. 2017 was the last time I did brioche, and I forgot how easy it was, or at least one color flat. Actually, no, I think I lost the other piece to this, because it does involve some seaming. But yeah, it's so squishy. Really happy with it so far. I was working on it quite a bit, and then I don't know, stopped, I guess. I don't know. I picked up it's kind of been my focus whip so far for the year, and it is Flight of the Goldfinch. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me see what's going on. I am currently on Sleeve Island. And I'm doing them 2 at a time, mainly because like this striping, I don't want to keep track of like what order I did it in, because a lot of these are pretty darn similar and hard to distinguish. So that's why I'm doing these 2 at a time. But it is pretty much just a raglan sweater that has like these stripy sleeves. And so far I'm really enjoying it. It's nice and pretty mindless. So I think it'll get done pretty soon. I'm using an Advent for the stripes, an Advent from Uranaceous Fibers. It was their Once Upon a Dino Dreary Halloween countdown. So I have 13 colors that will be in the striped sleeves. And I'm on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just finished the 8th colorway, so I only have 4 more colors to go. And I feel like I have a ton of decreases left in the sleeves. But my math seems like it's mathing, so we'll chug along. For the body, this is Knit Picks Stroll. Yeah, Knit Picks Stroll fingering in the colorway Cork, which this is the only ball that I can find. And I think this comes like mid boob on me, so I'm definitely going to need more. But I know this yarn is like a 1.5 years old, so hopefully the dye lots match decently well. I don't want to do that. But so I've been working on this quite a bit, and I want to knit another Musselburgh hat because I don't like my old one. I need to rip it out. But I'm not going to have 2 plain stockinette like mindless stockinette projects going on at the same time. So once I finish this, I will let myself cast on the Musselburgh. And I think that's kind of what's motivating me. But yeah, I don't think it should take too long. Each of these stripes takes me about 1.5 hours to do like both of them. And I have a 3-hour Zoom class coming up weekly. Like my classes are starting back up. And I'm not going to delude myself into thinking that I will knit that whole time, because I still kind of feel awkward just knitting when you should be doing other things. Like I know it's not important, and it does help me focus more. But so I do think it'll be easy to get at least one stripe done, and then my kids have their dance classes, so that'll give me another stripe, and then yeah, I think by the end of this week I could get the sleeves done. And then it's just mindless stockinette on the body. I haven't decided if I'm going to add waist shaping or not. We'll see. But I am quite enjoying this project. It involves intarsia, which I've never done before. I found it super easy. And I do have multiple planned again, but I am going to adjust it a little bit because this has like one of those wide like boat necks, is that what it's called? And I don't really like that much just because of bra straps showing, and maybe that won't be an issue, But I do have a couple of these planned because I've really been in my mini skein era. So this is a good project for that. Garments are definitely one of my favorite things to knit. So those are 2 WIPs so far. My other WIP, I haven't picked up in probably 2 or 3 years. It's been a minute. And it is stuck on the project bag. Okay. I'm just gonna rip it. Okay. Isn't she lovely? So this is the Blended Woods cardigan, which so pretty. And I remember really enjoying it. Why is there a red marker? But yeah, I haven't picked it up in probably 2 or 3 years. It is currently off. It is on a interchangeable. I just lost my cable needle. And so picking it up poses a couple of problems. One, I don't know if I can find where I'm at in the pattern. I'm sure if I read it, I can figure it out. 2, I don't know what needles I was using. I didn't write it down in Ravelry. I'm going to assume I'm using the called for needle. I don't know. So we'll have to see. And then 3, like I said, my tension is all over the place constantly. I think right now I'm knitting a little bit looser. So maybe it's not going to match the tension. But like, I thought I was like down here. I didn't realize I pretty much have a full back done. And like, I can't rip all this out. I've got 2 balls in so far. Well, 1.5 it looks like. Like, I can't rip it all out, but how do I guess maybe I do another swatch and try to get the same size? I don't know. But like, even, this yarn is so nice. Like, this is going to be a heritage project. The yarn I'm using is Kelburn Woolen's Scout, I think. But it's like a little sheepier than I'm used to, but I think it's still superwash. Like, this is something I want to own forever and ever. I want to get this done this year. That's my goal. I did like a bingo card of my goals for the year, and one of them is finish this cardigan. Another goal is like to have no WIPs, which it's not going to happen, but I might do an asterisk on the no WIPs because my final WIP that I have going on is, there's a million needles in here. A scrappy blanket that is of my own design. So I'll talk about it later, but like, I've got quite a few scraps to go through, and I want to make it a good sized blanket. So at least this iteration, and these are just all indie dyed scraps in fingering weight. This iteration I want to make like queen size, and it's going to take a while, but I do have plans to make another one, and then hopefully I will publish my first knitting pattern sometime this year. So that's one of my goals for the year. Again, I had a goal to finish the Blended Woods category cardigan, and other than that, I'm gonna kind of leave it up, I guess. Maybe I do want to knit more garments. I just really like knitting them. I have a lot of sweater quantities in my stash that I want to knit through. so that I don't run into issues of I can't get this yarn anymore and I need more yarn. And I'm not going to stress too much about it. I'm just going to have fun, and I hope that you had fun seeing my whips, and I hope you have fun knitting throughout the whole year. And until next time, take care.